my colleague from Wyoming commented how Josh Allen made most people in Wyoming Buffalo Bills fans. We in Eastern Washington had a similar phenomenon with Gardner Minshew. We are certainly all Seahawks fans, but when Gardner was playing with Jacksonville and then with the Indianapolis Colts, we would go through the regular process of trying to find those games. Does that mean that we're entitled to watch all those games for free? I'm not sure, but it matters to my voters. Mr. Travis, I really appreciate you being here. I've long been a fan. Both my wife and I liked reading an anonymous mailbag. I appreciate your evolution of political philosophy, and I really admire you as just an American entrepreneur. I also know you're a big sports fan. You have boys, I have boys, and so a lot of what you say appeals to me. Now, you're a big SEC guy. I get it. You're from the South. I'm from the West Coast, but we do play football out there a little bit as well, too. Looks like you want to make a comment, then I'll go on. Sure.
Yeah, SEC football is the best in the country, but I appreciate other parts of the country.
Well,
also
thank you. Let me say that I was really good friends with Mike Leach. Was one of my best friends. We taught a class together called Insurgent Warfare Football Strategy. Traveled around the world together, and as he got to know you, he would tell me about his interactions with you. I want to talk a little bit about both pro and college football in my time here. I think, would you agree that one of the things that makes pro football special and compelling is the competitive parity?
Yes.
And if the NFC East had a higher salary cap than the AFC West, that would be a product that would be less fun to watch. Is that correct?
100%.
And if the NFC East got significantly higher TV revenue distribution than the AFC West, that would make that product less fun to watch.
Look, I think the NFL's ability to share revenue and the NFL is unique. The way that I would sum it up is the NFL is the business is the competition.
Okay.
If the games are not fun, nobody watches. If they're not competitive, no one watches. So that's the essence of the sport itself.
And so, as we turn to the college example, and as behind me you see some graphics of how much more the NFL and pro sports are squeezing out of TV dollars per viewer than college sports are, as we deal with this college sports issue. And I really appreciate you talking about the Buffalo Bills example as a publicly funded entity that should be publicly regulated. I am very, very free market. I sponsored right to work legislation when I was our state Senate. But when it comes to college sports, my view is that these are highly subsidized public goods and they should be regulated as such. And with all due respect to the SEC and the Big Ten and the large market schools, what makes that system special is the entire country. And what my school went through, Washington State University, was to get its guts ripped out through conference realignment, and not for competitive reasons. We beat Wisconsin the last 2 times that we played. We had beat Oregon 4 times in a row. We competed at the highest levels of college sports, and then through no fault of our own, had that ripped away, had our guts ripped out. And I think the solution for keeping what's special about all sports is to adopt some of these TV revenue aspects in the name of competitive parity at the college sports level. And so just in the remaining time, Mr. Travis, I know you're an SEC guy. I know you have a big time network, and I know the incentives that drive you towards creating a second NFL model. But what would you say about legislation for my voters, my fans of Washington State University, the small schools? What is your message to us?
This is a great question. We could probably do hours on this. First, I should say, since I'm under oath, Mike Leach belongs in the College Football Hall of Fame. I absolutely love Mike Leach, and the run that he had at Washington State, I think, is emblematic of why so many people love college football. College football needs to be fixed. It is broken, and there's a lot of discussions about how to fix it. I think that it's being underutilized dollars-wise. I think the value of college football is second only to the NFL. And figuring out how to allocate more resources to college football that also can then support Olympic sports, because remember, most of the money for college athletics comes in through college football, a little bit for men's basketball. We have to make more money and reallocate it better to create a better quality of competition in college athletics, college football in particular. I agree with you. I think it's awful that Washington State was left behind, that Oregon State was left behind, and that the Pac-12 was ultimately destroyed in that process. we need to create, I think, a system that allows everyone to be more successful, more money, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, but also provide a pathway to high-level competition for outside of those 4 major conference schools. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for being a fan, by the way.
Gentleman yields.